Good morning, and welcome to today's live stream lesson in Wuxing Long Pai. My name is Jeff Cote, and I am the Occidental Taoist. I'm going to adjust this just a little bit. Yes, there we go. All right. Oh, excellent. There's a couple of people coming on. Good morning, everyone. So just go ahead and start just getting your basic structure. Spread out your feet. Align your center line. Nice and relaxed. Good basic structure. Just take a few moments to align yourself before you even begin. Hands on the dantian. Open up the spine. Align the right and left channels. Enliven and awaken the Chongmai, the central equilibrium, the central channel. Establish Zhongding, a sense of extending down and extending up. Notice where your body is contracting and holding, and just take a few moments to just open it up. Just stand and open the body. And then begin with some expand. Just deep breath in and expand. And relax. Then we're going to reverse the breathing cycle. So take a deep breath in and keep the hands here. And exhale and expand. Notice the difference in the feel. And then bounce. And counter swing. Column swing. Counter column swing. And nice and relaxed. Just sit down into your stance. Go right into Ling Kong Jing, as though we're feeling that resistance of the water. Be careful here not to sit too far back into your heels. It can be a tendency to kind of drop into the heels a little. So really pay attention to that triangle of the foot, getting the weight more towards the middle of that triangle and activating the bubbling well by getting it to kind of just activate just a little, just, gently pressing the foot and shifting. And reverse. Remember, we're really kind of anchoring in. There's that sense of resistance, but we're not fighting with it. Working with our posture, making it active and alive. Press down. And then just a few passes low each direction, letting you really work at that level. Working with the sacrum, lower dantian, mingmen, daimai, and the hips themselves. And then the other way. Shift and turn into Dragon Rolls the Pearl. You'll notice I'm starting to create a greater separation, letting my hand come up a little higher, my other hand come down a little lower. Again, check in. It's very easy to kind of start to sit on your heels a little bit as you really work on grounding. You kind of get too far back and really sit too deep into the heel. We want that same depth without having to sit back too far where we're kind of caught back on our heels. So we're activating the chi into the bubbling well a lot more. Dragon plays in clouds. You see how it just becomes this. and relax. Check it out for a moment. Hopefully you could see how that focus on the right and left channels there, when you're doing that, you can really get that sense of sinking through here and let that kind of pull that down and in. And then the arm is stabilized by this support. All right. And then the same thing over here as it expands out. Just it's expanding out through here, expanding out through here as it rotates, and then back in and back out. So you can see I'm really focusing much more here than I am out here. The extremities are the final result. It moves from the center outward. So that's an important component of those practices. All right, hands, wrists, and fingers. And the other way. Elbows. The other way. And then the shoulders. Shoulders down. Rotate the palms open and back. Then rotating them out. Then reverse. Palms forward. And palms towards each other. Opening and closing the chest. And patting the shoulders. Trunk twists from the center. Waist and the hips. Waist rotations, getting that daimai to just circle. Other way. And we bring our awareness from the waist down to the ball and socket joints of the hips, widen the feet, sink into the legs. Just kind of pull one side. You're just going to gently press with it, very gently. Press with the foot, gently open up that ball and socket joint, and rotate through. other side. I know we didn't go the other way. We will afterwards. We're going to do all one direction first, then the other way. The other side, the other way. And then, keeping everything nice and open, we're going to shift and turn, keeping the column of the body nice and even. Don't let it tilt. Don't arch the back. Get that tailbone down. And just keep this open, opening the hips. And the other way. Shake it out. Patting the legs. Pushing on the knee. And then patting the other leg. Rubbing your knee. Small circles. And the other way. Deep bends, heels stay down. Shake out your leg. Ankle and hip. The other way. Foot and ankle. The other way. Brushing the grass. Other way. Behind. Other way. Up. Out to the side. And back. Cross. Sink straight down. Rotate the spine. Keep the spine long and tall. Knee to the chest. Knee down, heel back. Knee back, hip forward. Out and around. Check it out. Other side. Other way. Foot and ankle. Other way. Brushing the grass. Other way. Behind. Other way. Opposite side. And behind. Cross behind. Straight down. Turn the spine. Knee to the chest. Heel back, knee down. Knee back, hip forward. Back out. And around. Not too far over. My own tension. Tried to get my leg up to make sure I don't hit anything. Threw myself off. Let's try that again. There we go. That's better. Hip. Just kind of rotating it open and extending. And relax. Shake out your legs. I have a bunch of flowers under this bay window here, and I can hear the buzzing of bees, like a bunch of them. It's like a drone. Very soft, but it's there. Kind of cool. All right. Take a nice deep breath in. Just inhale up. Straighten the legs. Elongate the spine. Flatten the back from the inside out. Then reach out. And forward. His knees back flat. Just keep extending out. Once you've reached a good extension there and you feel like you've got a good alignment, you can cross the arms and not hold yourself up. And instead, keeping the spine long, let gravity just gently pull you deeper into your stance or your stretch.
Sometimes I like to reach out. Different positions with my hands. Sometimes I'll put my palms together, extend my fingertips, and you'll really feel this right up in here. The latissimus attaches with the rhomboids and teres in the shoulder, or joins with the little fascia anyways. Elongate. And from this position, we're going to shift to one side. Reach back and out. Sweep slowly to the other side. Start with the structure first. Kind of build this from the ground up, lengthening, in perfect position to equally lengthen everything. Out and back. And turn. Two dragons circle a pond. Back to the center, squat stance. Nice and long spine. Rock to one side. Really sit into that instep a little. Same thing on this side. Sit into that instep a little. I'm going to stretch. If you feel so inclined, you can suspend just to let the weight of your hips open up more. You want to relax. The whole point is to relax those hips, rotate the knees outward. And back. Suck your legs and roll the spine up, bottom to top. And dragon spine. This is the serpentine articulation of the spine, utilizing the right and left channel rotations. And then back in. And bigger motions. And then all the way around. Then the other way. Extending the hands, palms up. And then over and under. And shake it out. My son has a question. Yes, sir.
May I come with you?
We'll talk about it afterwards. This is not the time for that. I'm in the middle of a class. We'll talk afterwards, please. We can talk about it afterwards.
Can it be free time because I got stuck on something?
For a moment, yes. All right. Where was I? Taijiquan. All right, let's work on, we'll go back to working with that section we've been working on, the swimming dragon section. We're going to flow up to, I think, Fair Lady Threads the Shuttle is as far as we have gotten. And in terms of breaking it down, so let's flow up to that point. I will face the other direction so that those of you who have an easier time following along from behind is as easier, which is most of you, according to reports. So, and I think it's really just don't look at my face. So that's okay. I can accommodate that. So we're going to start off, feet roughly shoulder width and parallel. Hands up, shoulders relaxed. And sink. Dragon stretches his wings. Shift. Back. Up. Out. Back in. Down. Turn. Under. Around. Early morning. White egg presents the fruit. White crane kicks with one leg. Move over a little bit so I don't kick that table. Butterfly touches the water. Green dragon stirs the waves. Elbowing left and right. And split. Grasp the arm. Turn and look back at the moon. And Fair Lady threads the shuttle. Okay. So here I'm about 60% on this front leg, left leg. All right. 40% on the back. And here, clearing the eyebrow. And this hand is forward and extended, palm out. From here, there's a twisting pressure from this right foot that helps me extend. So let me show you from this side. From here, think of it like this. I'm extending here to extend here, right after full expression. Then I sit, passing clouds, right? So sit into the leg, just sit right into that leg and clear high and low. Right here. On my way to staying, not all, but certainly I'm at about 70 to 80% here, roughly. And then as I go here, I'm even more, 80 to 90, because I'm turning this foot up, right, on the heel. And the foot comes down. We don't go like this. Notice, I don't go over while I'm holding. I put the foot down and slide in. Slide in from underneath. So we want to get a feeling of the energy of our action and motion coming from really low, even into the ground, up with the arm. So I'm here. It's like I extend energy, my intent down low and up. So it feels like it goes really low and up. Okay? This hand, this front hand, is simply grasping and pivoting with the body. So everything is working together. Remember, everything's got to work from here. So let's get this from Fair Lady Threads the Shuttle again. Here, really get that twist pressing in, helping us to get that palm. Also really opening this up. We've got to manage it so we're not pushing our hip. A lot of times people will do this when they push it forward. They'll do this with their hips. You see? You got to keep that down, tailbone down. When I push through there, I'm extending through these yin channels of the foot, and the hip is helping to keep the structure aligned here. And sit back. I should have been here. Should have been at this angle. Sit back, turn, and there's even a fudging here at times when you pray. Like that, okay? But let's just take it again. Fair Lady Threads the Shuttle where we were. And once it's up, sink it back down and be drawn into that leg. As I'm drawn into that leg, I'm releasing the hip rotation. Now I'm here. Right. Up, back down. I'm sinking. Keeping this open and letting it spiral. Letting a spiral energy come from this left hip through that left channel, through the left arm, into the hammer fist. Now, there is, the martial art of it, but what's really, for the health aspect of this, what's really going on here as you're doing this, you're really working this deep connection down in here, and its alignment and connection into the liver, gallbladder, kidney through here, and just getting a lot of chi flow and compression of energy and chi and blood into these regions and out of these regions as you compress and expand. Okay? Pay attention to that connection from here through the glutes, as a column, all the way up and into here through the shoulder to help you release the shoulder tensions that don't allow for free flow. Okay, so your arm can be free, not bound up underneath here and underneath the scapula and all the muscle tension from here. So let's do this again from Fair Lady Threads the Shuttle one more time. We've got, always try to move from as close to the center and center line as you can. So if I'm working with these rotations, I'm not trying to work with the rotations only here. I'm trying to get this whole column of the body to feel like it works together. Okay? So activate things in here. There's not a lot of, it's not like there's contraction or a lot of lead being added. It's activation in that supple serpentine kind of freedom. You want all those tissues to just feel like they can just convey a wave action. And so when we're training with a little bit extra pressure just to help activate. And then as you practice more and more, you start reducing that pressure until it's almost invisible. And then it's soft. Okay? Well, Fair Lady Threads the Shuttle. Out. And when I'm down, it's that same coiling whip. I'm extending. This left side is extending, this right side is receding. Not too far. We don't want to go so far that we end up back here in our hip, on our heels. We just want to be right in the sweet spot. All right. One last time through that sequence as a flow. Fairly threads the shuttle. Press, sweep, open. Up, down. This is one you can just figure out how the two hips and legs work together with the torso to power this, to treat your whole upper torso like a whip. So okay, that's a pretty good exercise. You can do that one on both sides because we eventually do that on the other side too. Where we come up, come down. See, got almost no weight here on that right leg. It's there. I'm extending. It's also free in the shoulder. The turn of the hand doesn't happen from the hand and wrist. It happens from this opening and closing here and here. That's what we're looking for. Okay. High and close. Sure. Thank you guys very much for joining me today for the Wuxing Long Pai Taijiquan class. And I also want to thank, many of you have sent me checks over a couple of months for, classes and out of generosity. And I just wanted to tell you how much I appreciate that support. It's a challenging time. Hopefully, we'll be able to get together again soon. I know we're we now have moved in Massachusetts into the second phase of the 4-phase movement back into normal. I don't know that we're ever going to be back to what we have considered normal, and that's probably a good thing. At the same time, be cautious. It's when we start feeling like we can just do whatever that things can spread quickly. So still be cautious. Wash your hands a lot. Connect with people and keep social spacing. I think it's good that we test the waters, but be aware and recognize that the councils on aging are generally considered part of the 4th phase from what has been communicated to me by all the different councils on aging that I work with. So we're going to be kind of the last. I want to respect those decisions. These are decisions made by people who have a lot more information than I do. And so as much as I would like to get back together as quickly as possible, I'm going to respect their recommendations and follow it. But keep your eyes open and your ears open because it's looking like maybe a month from what they're saying, barring any issues. We'll see. I mean, with the protests and everything, people got a lot closer. There's going to be a lot more spread. There will probably be a spike in cases in a couple of weeks that will last a couple more weeks. So there may be a change. We may be on phase 2, heading into phase 3, and drop back down to phase 2 or phase 1. I don't know. Just try to stay loose. I'm going to try to stay loose and flexible. And thank you all very much for your consistency, your persistence in finding this as a useful tool for your own practice of Tai Chi, and for always just being so kind and generous to me. I appreciate that tremendously. You guys have a wonderful day. Have many blessings of radiant health and a peaceful, happy heart.